There's a picture that I drew when I was in kindergarten. They say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I drew a lady on a stage. I didn't know that it was going to be singing opera, but I knew it was going to be music from a very, very early age.
In the first grade, we met when the first grade classes at Duncan Chapel Elementary School came together to do the first grade spring play. And I was the MC of the play, and Betsy was a jonquil in the flower scene. So that's sort of where it all began. And we tend to tell that story a lot now if I'm conducting her, with an orchestra, and here we are doing some work by Mahler or Strauss or something. It's pretty funny that we started out also on stage, but for very different reasons.
She has performed in concert halls around the world and lit them all up, but she lit up my classroom. She was a wonderful student. She already knew she had a great talent, but she loved other things. She's a Renaissance girl. She never sang a note in my classroom, but she was a talent. She really was.
I taught strings at the Fine Arts Center, and Betsy played the violin and played very well. But let me tell you, if I had a voice like Betsy's, I probably wouldn't be playing the violin either.
The Fine Arts Center, it is why I was able to go into it, because of Michael Rice and JOANNE Cohen. And I took strings and I took the voice classes in both the afternoon classes. And they got me ready to be ahead of the game at Furman. Being ahead of the game the whole way up was what gave me an edge, I think.
We went to the Fine Arts Center, and Michael Rice was our teacher, and we would do many voice recitals. And Betsy, the way that you knew she was nervous, her voice was glorious, the presentation was glorious. The way you knew that she was nervous is her right hand would grab her skirt and start lifting it up. And I used to kid her about it all the time. We call it the claw. If you say to Betsy, what is the claw? She'll know exactly what I'm talking about. She would take this claw and just pull her dress up, and finally would be like, Betsy, put your skirt down. You're singing.
Humor is what makes the soul flexible. Anything you can laugh at can't break you. And if you lose the ability to laugh, especially at yourself, anything can. So approach life with intelligence and humor.
Well, she certainly reaches out with her singing, but now she's reaching out with her teaching. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but opened a studio, I think with one other person, really training young opera singers. So, she really wants to give. And that, I think, is a little bit unusual for somebody who is kind of in the prime of her career as far as singing.
I am looking forward to now still singing when I can. My daughter's in high school, so I'm at home teaching more. And I've actually started a school in Washington, D.C. for young singers that have come out of college, come out of graduate school, and are just sort of waiting for their careers to start. I've started a school that provides master classes and workshops so they can continue their education. So I'm looking forward to really getting that running really well, and I'm loving teaching in my private studio.
Here's Betsy. She won the Met competition. She sings at the Met, at National Opera, all over the world. And now she's came up with this unique idea to help young singers who are trying to get their career going in their 20s, maybe early 30s. And she just has that from when she told me about the Potomac Vocal Institute, I thought, well, that makes perfect sense. That's exactly Betsy. She sort of wants to make sure that no one ever ends up being marginalized.
Being a very gifted person, you can kind of just use those gifts and maybe not develop them the way she has. But she really has. And because of that, she's reached the level she's reached, and that's very, very high.
Betsy, to me, is the epitome of someone who has a God-given talent, but is not satisfied just to have it. She's developed it and cultivated it and used it in ways to enrich and bless thousands of people, and to honor those who were part of where she came from, her family, Berea, Furman, Greenville itself.